Happy day 7, everyone. My name is Kari. This is Tired Lily Designs. Welcome to day 7 of the 12 days of Stitchmas. Are you excited? Are you having fun? Sorry I'm late coming to. Busy day, but don't worry. It's worth the wait. I've got 2 great businesses for you to share with you, as well as a fun Tiger Lily finish. So without further ado, we're going to dig right in. So before I forget, the word of the day today is wish. You need the word wish for both the crossword puzzle as well as using the word down below for your daily giveaways. Now remember, you're going to want to use the word wish. Just use the word wish because today's both have stitch related finishes, no knitting or crocheting finishes. What we have for you today is I have a cross stitch pattern designer, somebody you have seen before, again, an alumni from Flossmas 2021, but it's so fun. She's got some great new things that I want to share with you, as well as a completely oh my goodness, how have I not known about this company until now? Finishing and accoutrement business in the world of stitching and a little bit of knitting fun. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and dive right in to the designs, the small businesses of today.
Vivian Powers, also known as the Vivsters. When you go to Instagram, you're going to look for _Vivsters. Now, if you were here for Flossmas 2021, you are very familiar with her 12 Days of Christmas ornaments that I have been working on so diligently here during 2022, trying to get those 12 ornaments on the tree. One day I'll get them done. But Vivian is back again for Stitchmas of 2022, and I just couldn't resist featuring her again because she's got some gorgeous Christmas patterns again this year. So again, follow her on Stitchmas or follow her on Instagram if you don't yet. First, I want to show you some of the things she's showing. She does lots of sales pretty regularly during the year, so it's always a great thing to follow your favorite designer on Instagram, just in case they throw in something special for you. She's got this super fun Quaker Let It Snow pattern that she has released. So Vivsters is an artist, a graphic designer who lives in the UK. She's a graphic designer by day and does her cross stitch patterns by side hustle. It's her way of just, obviously she was doing something she loved. She wanted bright and colorful things, and that's exactly what her feed is. She's not just a stitch designer. You can see she's got some fiber arts and some knitting and some decor pieces, some unique designs. So let me go down to one of the ones we're featuring this time around is this adorable pattern. It's her Christmas, combining her love of quilting and cross stitch into one. She made this Christmas motif that looks kind of like fabric squares. And so when I saw this one back in, I think it was October, is when she put this out, I said, oh my gosh, I see another set of ornaments in my future, although I am going to get those 12 days done first. So, but look at these sweet things. I see this Christmas tree as an ornament, this little gingerbread house, sweet little perfectly square. I love a good, easy to finish, recreatable, do it again and again, repeatable and recreatable finishes are my jam. And this snowman on the red fabric, how cute would he be on red fabric? And then you stitch the snows and the present and the candy cane on this little holly. I just immediately saw so many squares. And of course, these quilt pattern like fabric motifs are also very unique. So this is her Instagram feed. Let's go over to her Etsy page, which is where she sells her charts. Everything is PDF. She's over in the UK. I love some of the things she has. Now, this is one of her featured items. If you are brave and a gamer, look at this 5-board game set. Cross stitch patterns, backgammon, Scrabble, checkers, you name it, it is here, and it's not just your standard look at the charts. So I know we're Christmas, but maybe think about for next year, if you have a gamer in your life or someone who would appreciate this, and you can stitch this backgammon board I don't know if she tells you what count. We'd have to figure it out. I might do this backgammon one. I love it. My kids and I used to play backgammon all the time when they were little. Maybe one day I'll get them to play with me again. But I just love how it's not just a triangle, a solid triangle. She puts these motifs, it makes it so much more detailed and intricate. And so you go ahead and you stitch this plan. It's a full year event. It's a commitment. But once you get it done, you can frame it and obviously use glass. And now you have this beautiful handmade board. All right. But maybe gaming's not your thing and you want to come back and you want to look at some of the Christmases. Of course, I can't go to the Vivsters without showing you guys my favorite, the 12 Days of Christmas. This is a complete landscape and portrait. Obviously, she charts it all as one finish. I'm doing them as you have seen. I think I've got, not I think, I know I have 1, 2, 3, and 4 done. So I am a third of the way there. Yay me. So maybe next year I'll get a little faster and get the other 8 done, but we shall see. She's got this super cute, this is the Christmas quilt pattern when I was showing you, this modern geometric Christmas, this rainbow Christmas tree. If you have a rainbow lover in your life, I love that. If you remember this Scandinavian forest, we talked about that last year. I love that one so much. And then, so she just does a couple twists. So this is one, these little tree baubles also scream individual ornament to me. How cute. These speak to my quilting motif, the symmetry of these designs and the colors. That is one thing that Vivsters is fantastic about because she's a graphic designer by trade. Knowing what colors go well with each other is her jam.
Wasn't that fantastic, friends? Yes, Vivsters is back and in full force, and she's got some fantastic patterns for us for this new holiday season. Although I still have some catching up to do on the 12 Days of Christmas. I cannot tell a lie. Now, I did tell you that I do have a fully finished. So today's giveaway for the patterns for the week before I forget, is that Christmas ornament quilt block motif. I forget what it was called, but you know which one I was talking about. I referenced it in the video. It has all these different boxes as well as looks like quilt blocks put together into one pattern. All those things that really could just be multiple ornaments and you could stitch them up. They might be a little faster than the 12 days. But if you're like me and you started the 12 Days of Christmas last year, want some eye candy, want to see, I have shown you over these last 12 months here in 2022, a couple finishes. I did a finish with me video, a live Make With Me Monday. That was so fun where we actually finished one. So let me just grab some things. Sorry for my reach, but let me show you. Okay, so this is the original. This is the OG Partridge in a Pear Tree. So this is the one I did as my prototype testing how I was going to finish. I am planning on finishing them all in the same inspiration. So I want them all to kind of coordinate, play nice with each other. So this is the inspiration. It is a sticky board with my fabric as well as 2 sticky boards sandwiched together, a little bit of greenery, hot glue, a bow, these little berries that I've also got, a light bulb tag with my 2022 oil rubbed bronze charm hanging in there so that years from now I'll remember what year I did this. So this is number 1. So we did that one and you've seen that before. And then you saw number 2. Number 2 is the one that we actually did live together on the Make With Me Monday. As you can see, they are almost twins. Obviously the stitching's not, but the finish is almost twins. You will see a little theme here. So can you guess what I've got to show you? Sure do. Not only do I have number 3, here's number 3. We'll just stick with number 3. Here is number 3. I finished this one. Now you can see it's a little bit different. I went ahead and I grabbed the same. Now during the Make With Me Monday video, I showed you guys that this ribbon, which is gorgeous, Hobby Lobby, and they had both the red twill tape as well as this green grosgrain twill tape. So I got 2 of the spools. So I wanted them, like I said, to coordinate, but not exactly all be matchy-matchy. So that's exactly what this one is. It had more green in it in the stitching. So I went ahead and I grabbed the green. And on this one, I have green. You can see the little hangy glue gun. I have from the Lori Holt Fat Quarter bundle that I got from Fat Quarter Shop. This is the B Ginghams Fat Quarter bundle that I got. I showed you guys that on a floss tube haul about a month ago, but I ended up coffee dyeing this. Now, if you remember, that's exactly what I did with this one. It was just a harsh white. And since I'm using Shrekie's Tan for my actual stitching, which is more of a tanny kind of vintage country mocha vibe-ish, but I wanted, so rather than the gingham being a bright white with the green gingham, I dunked it in some coffee, let it sit overnight, and I liked that it softened it up just a little bit. So that is number 3. And guess what, friends? I also got number 4 fully finished. Yay! So, you know, 4 per year. It only take me 3 years. And for this one, it's from that same Fat Quarter bundle. I'm super loving the, oh my goodness, the glue gun. I'm loving that Fat Quarter bundle from Fat Quarter Shop, the Lori Holt B Gingham. I think it's going to be perfect for this entire series. There's a couple different colors. I almost chose, they had this beautiful like orangey gingham, but then it would have to compete with the red too much, and I didn't want to use the green bow. There wasn't enough green in this one. Anyway, so those are my new fully finishes for today. But again, Vivsters was our featured cross-stitch designer. We love having her back. She's got some great patterns, so hopefully you've got a couple of hers in your stash or maybe in your whip basket. All right, friends, so let's move on to business number 2. Like I said, this is one that I have never found before, but oh my goodness, I loved it. I was so excited when I found them and intrigued by the concept. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clip away and we're going to walk through their Etsy shop and I'll show you some of the things they've got online. And then I'm going to come back again and show you what we have in person.
Etsy shop is Fripperies MP. This is a retail source for your fine quality needlework accessories. What that means is, how do you finish your pieces and what kind of woodworking things do you need to go with your cross stitch as well as knitting. So Fripperies is a small mom and pop woodworking engraving business located in Wisconsin in a small community of Mineral Point. 2,500 population to be exact. So Wayne and Paula are the ones behind the curtain that are making these unique products for you. So right here on their Etsy shop, you can see they have been in the needlework industry since 1976, being involved in one way or the other, whether they were cross-stitch designers, teachers, manufacturers, and now they're making these woodworking engraving businesses the fun for your project. So what they have lots of unique items, one of a kind, all handmade and designed in their shop in Wisconsin. And so some of the things that you can get there, you can get their corner gauge. So their corner gauge tool, as we know, is what you're going to use to measure out your corner of your cross stitch chart to make sure that you are starting where you need to. And so their corner gauge is a combo tool in that it's got the thread holes. So as a sweet little 8 floss project, throw this in, you're good to go, as well as it gives you up to 3 inches to show you where to start your project. Some of the other gadgets they have is a multi-tool. Look at this vintage truck multi-tool. So this has the thread drops on the bottom, has a magnet on the top as a needle minder. You can also get this in a fob form. I don't know what that means. But so then you come down and you get into they have a needle gauge and a swatch tool. So if you are a knitter, we know how important swatching is to make sure that that pattern is actually going to fit. So this is their sweet little swatch and needle gauge tool. So it's got the needle gauge along the bottom so you know what needles you're going to stitch with. Make sure sometimes those markings rub off the needles. You just want to check to make sure you think you've got what you've got. And then you use this square inside to determine your gauge of your swatch. Now, the unique product I had never seen before, and it was very intriguing, was what they're calling a bell pull. And it comes, you can see, in all different styles and features. Snowflakes, butterflies, witches' hats, Santa sleighs, pumpkins, snowman, ornaments, lots of different things. But what is a bell pull, you ask? Well, I certainly did. So let's dig into it. So what it is it's a top piece and a bottom piece with a slide, right? Here we go. Let's look at some of the review photos. And they show you, there's one where they have used it perfectly. So you see, this was one of those long, skinny, I think that's a Satsuma Street Folk Flowers pattern that I have started in my whip basket. But so this is a way to finish a cross-stitching piece without the cost and the storage needed for a fully framed. So especially in the world of seasonal pieces, if you wanted to frame this super long, skinny, you know, those beehive words or the Christmas words, there's a lot of those designers now who are doing those long, skinny collection of words type charts, and those are gorgeous, but they're very hard to frame sometimes because they're long and skinny, not anywhere near a standard size, and then you have to put that away for the season. Storing that can be crazy. What this is you can pick whichever top and do it. Like here's an ornament one. But what's even better is they let you choose the width. So it's totally custom, totally handmade by Wayne and Paula. And you get to choose whether you want it to be 4 inches wide, up to 10 inches wide. My guess is they might be able to go different sizes and different things. They love to work with you and make something custom. So depending on what fabric that you choose, what count you're going to choose, what project you're doing, you might need something different, but they will work with you. And so it's totally custom, totally your own, and totally exactly what you need for a very affordable way to finish your piece. This Santa sleigh is adorable. This is just a topper, so then you'd want to weight the bottom. Again, you can choose from 4 inches to 10 inches. And the same thing, they have all the different options, all the different themes. They also sell horn books, which we know are the traditional wooden, primitive looking kind of display boards that you could put your stitching on. So first you're going to do is choose a color, blue, black, red, and white, and then you're going to choose your size. They have a 4x4 or 5x5 inch square. So many unique items from this woodworking shop in Wisconsin. Oh my goodness, look at this scissor frog. Love that. You know, for all of us with our scissor collections, we know we need things. They've also got this classic collection of needle gauges, or you can get them as thread organizers. So they, like I said, everything is custom. You get to choose what you want. Nothing costs extra when it's custom. Let's look at this bell pull. Such a sweet, so this is a perfect way for your Halloween. Again, seasonal, it's hard. You don't want to have to put something with a glass, it's going to break. This you fold it up nicely in some tissue and throw it in your storage box for the rest and to pull it out next year. It's a great way to display those things. So let's look at some of the wood pieces that they sent us to share with you guys.
All right, friends. Woo! Wasn't that fantastic? Okay, friends, I have a bucket of goodies that was sent to me from Wayne and Paula for me to show you in person, live and up close, some of the things that are on their Etsy shop. As I've said many a times, computer images make it tricky sometimes, so let's dig down into some of the actuals. So I had them organized in a way so I could show you. All right, so let's talk about knitting tools first, shall we? So as a knitter, Many times you need to not only know what your needle size are. A lot of times the needle numbers, especially if you're new like me and you can't just like know all the things, the numbers run away or rub away depending on your brand and things, and they're not. Anyway, you need to know your needle. So having a needle gauge to tell you, stick your needle in so you know what size it is very important. It's a tool / gadget that is definitely needed in your toolbox as a knitter. But you also have to gauge swatch. I'm not going to go into what gauge swatching is. I've only done it twice, so I'm certainly not the expert, but I know the importance of it, especially when you're working on garments when sizes matters. When you're making a scarf, gauge doesn't really matter. When you're making a sweater, gauge matters. So they've got these so if you need to have a gadget, you could have just a plain plasticky one, or you could have a super cute, super fun one. So this is one that they sent me. Look how cute that is. Super adorable on the front, and then on the back it gives you all the information. It shows you all the different sizes as well as a ruler and your gauge swatch. And then of course this one has got this beautiful kind of Victorian bird on the front. And again, there's your numbers to put in your to tell your, okay, so the back is knitting needles and this is crochet needles. Well, that's interesting. Who knew? And then this one is also such a farm animal inspired, super adorable gauge swatch needle gauge tool. So they call these their gadgets. So again, you can customize if you wanted to pick whether you wanted. So your gadgets, you've got two options. You can get them in the needle knitting genre, or they have gadgets in the cross stitching. So this is also a needle gadget for the knitter. So there's your ruler as well as a needle gauge. But let's say you're not a knitter and you're a cross stitcher. What kind of gadgets do they have for you? Don't worry, they can hook you up. They sent me an assortment of cute little floss dials. So these are those great things that you can throw them in your project bags. Let's say you have between 1 and 10 flosses, rather than doing it on a floss ring or floss drops. Maybe you just want to have a certain dial for each project. This is adorable. So they make it super fun. Here's a cute little beehive, and it has 12 holes, and they're numbered on the back so you can note your chart. You know, number 3 is this symbol or this red or whatever it is. And then this is another one they have that is just the needle dial thread, not a dial. It's the thread keep, thread drop, floss. And then they've got these gadgets. And this gadget is kind of like a 3-for-1, which is fantastic. So this is a cross stitch gadget with a little adorable bunny on it. So like I said, it's a 3-for-1. Let's talk about what the 3s it is. It's the 8 flosses. So put your 8 flosses right here. Number 1. Number 2, you've got a magnet here. So you can needle minder, don't lose your magnet, don't use your needles, your scissors, whatever, as well as a ruler. So it's kind of a 4-for-1. A ruler if you need to measure anything, as well as the handy dandy corner gauge. So that way when you're doing a corner start, you can make sure that you're 2 inches, 2.5, or even 3 inches out of the corner, and this will help you do that. So this is another one of their gadgets. This is a corner gauge needle minder ruler combination. Super fun. So those are their gadgets that Wayne and Paula have on their website. And I also want to show you some of the fun bell pulls. Now I showed you them during the walkthrough of their Etsy shop, and these will not disappoint. So these are also adorable. So these are them in person. How sweet. So this is the Santa one we looked at. This is the 8-inch Santa, and you will see it's beautiful black wood, and they ship it fantastic. They actually take time to tie it to the cardboard so it doesn't move or slip away, as well as there is this beautiful snowflake variety, which is fantastic. This has the top and the bottom. This is the 7-inch. Now remember, with these you can pick any size you want. So if your piece is anywhere from 4 inches to 10 inches, the width is what matters. The length doesn't matter. It can be as long or as short as the project is, because you're just going to finish it as with the topper and the bottom and hanging. And then lastly, we have style A to show you. All right, so that was some of their things. Now let me show you what I'm going to throw into today's giveaways so you can get your hands on some of their fantastic products. Now, let me tell you what I'm throwing into the grand prize giveaway. The grand prize giveaway, you're gonna get one of these 7-inch snowflake super adorables, as well as the Stitchers. Hold on, let me see. I don't want to mix them up. The cross stitch for the daily giveaway, you're going to get 2 of these, 1 of each of the thread dials. And then into the knitting, you're also going to get 2 gauges. Super adorable. And then for the daily giveaway, what I'm going to do is I went through my stash and I wanted to find a pattern that I thought would be perfect to utilize one of their bell pulls. And if time was of infinite and I had oodles of it, I would have stitched this up and thrown it on here because I think this is the perfect pattern. And this pattern has been in my stash. This was part of the Kitten Stitcher Advent last year that I opened up with you guys. And it's been in my stash for a year and I haven't reached for it and I haven't stitched it up. So what I decided that it is perfect to go with this bell pull, and I need to pair it with the winner. So today's daily winner is going to win not only the Sleigh Ride Reindeer 6-inch bell pull, you're going to win the pattern that I think, and I have measured, it's 91 by 117. So if you do this on anything higher than an 18 count, so 18 or 36 and above, and you stitch this up, it's going to fit perfect on this 6-inch bell pull. And how sweet, I mean, I love it with the bird and the black. The black, I think, grabs these two. They just play so nice together. So I thought I needed to marry these together to be the daily prize for today. I just couldn't resist. All right, friends. So that is what I have for you today. Happy day 7. Make sure that you're filling out your crossword puzzle so you can get entered in for the grand prize. It is getting full and jam-packed, and I can't wait to show you. We'll do a walkthrough on day 12 just to show you all the goodies that are in the grand prize box because it's fun, as well as these daily giveaways. So make sure that you're entering down below, like, subscribe, and comment using the word, and I will see you tomorrow, friends. Happy Stitchmas!